Hi, welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, last week in American politics, we were treated to one of the more amusing sights that we've seen in a while. A group of Democrat politicians staged a sit-in. And I use that word loosely because they sat on the floor of Congress and they had hot pizza delivered and fully catered meals, and they tweeted and texted about their experience. And I actually think it's kind of insulting to compare what they were doing with what the civil rights activists did when they staged their sit-ins during the civil rights struggle. Those people were truly courageous and heroic. They didn't know when it was going to end. They had no hot food and creature comforts provided to them. They had people standing over them threatening and actually doing violence. They didn't even know if they'd get out of those things alive. That, to me, is a very different action than what we saw last week in Congress. And also, and this is a really big and very important difference, the civil rights activists were actually rational and reasoned in what they were asking and the way they were going about it. They weren't just being emotive. They were asking for something extremely rational. There was sound logic and reason and natural law truth behind what they were calling for and the way they wanted it achieved. But what we saw last week was a group of senators who rushed into an emotive and poorly thought out proposal rather than engaging in a proper process of evidence-based discourse, which then leads to political action. It doesn't matter what your views are on gun control, whether you're pro, you're against, or you're undecided. The point is that the political process shouldn't be arbitrary, and what it's proposing, like people on terrorist watch list being denied what are constitutional rights in America, just because they are on this watch list. You see, there's no due process in that, and that's an arbitrary action. And that's not how the state should be acting. And ironically enough, these same Democrats were actually some of the staunchest opponents of terrorist watch lists in the past. But now when it suits them, they want to support them. That's not really how good government should actually work. And I think the way forward on this is to actually tone down, dial back the emotion. And I know that can be difficult, but to dial it back and actually have a reasoned discourse that starts with the evidence and the facts at hand and then works out to what conclusions are coming next from there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.